This is the Stormy Willow podcast, a lighthearted, balanced examination of the paranormal.
Yellow there, Adele and Stormy Willow friends.
Yellow.
I'm going to apologize in advance. That's the cough medicine.
Okay.
That was a lot more funny in my head than I have a feeling it came out.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm on cough medicine. Woo!
Oh boy, what kind of cough medicine?
Good old Mucinex, tried and true.
Okay. No Dimetap or anything.
No Dimetap, yeah. I just, Adele, I've got the crud again. I'm over it. Last week I was drinking out of my solo cup, and now I'm drinking out of my coffee mug here with my hot tea, and it's going to be a really wild one today because on top of not feeling well, Stephen had to go out of town, so I'm single momming it too with these two furry kids, so buckle up. It's going to be an adventure here on my front.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't even want to know what's going to happen throughout the show. We'll see.
Adele's like, you know what? We don't have to record today. It's fine. That's what she's thinking.
I just wanted to have to do all sorts of extra editing.
Well, you can always count on me. Like, you're such a good editor because of all of the curveballs I throw at you every episode.
A lot of practice.
A lot of practice. You're welcome. You are welcome, my friends.
I'm already hearing stuff.
Yeah, that's Herman. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. And we are off. So how are you doing?
I am good. What, isn't it a full moon tonight?
Full moon in Leo. Hello.
That's going to be off the hook. I can't wait to hear the forecast.
Well, listen to this. Yeah, Herman's feeling it. I'm going to hang on while I kick him out. Let's go. Go play. Come on. Shoot. All right. They'll probably break back in. Yeah, and they just did. They're feeling the full moon. We're feeling the full moon energy here.
Yeah, it's a madhouse.
Madhouse. Absolute madhouse.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But Mercury could be in retrograde, so we'll take it.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But I'm talking about crazy things. What do you think about this weather balloon or whatever they're calling it?
This spy balloon.
And I don't know if you noticed, but South Carolina's getting a lot of really great attention. So got shot down at the Dirtle.
Yeah, way to go, Myrtle Beach.
So I just feel like I was like, wow, we're getting all of this trial coverage with the Alec Murdoch case, and now the spy balloon. So I just feel like we're really South Carolina's on the map.
Yeah, it's a ride.
Really representing.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me is kind of like, this has to be a hoax, right? Like, they have such advanced technology. Like, why would they use a balloon to spy on us?
That's what I told Steven. I was like, I'm just not ready. Like, this is too much. Like, first COVID and now a balloon. Like, I can't deal. Like, it's like I'm waiting for someone just to be like, guys, this has just all been a big hoax. We're live. Like, you're on candid camera. I don't know. It's just too much. I think there's just so much crazy news. I've been like hysterically laughing because I just can't deal. My mentally, I can't process anymore.
I heard, I'm not going to share, I thought about it, but Amanda was reading me this insane obituary. And I was like, sometimes I think obituaries would be kind of appropriate for a show, but is it distasteful? I don't know. So I decided not to share it, but this was like, I'm just going to say a guy got hit on his motorcycle. He got run over several times on the interstate by other vehicles, and they found one of his appendages at a gas station parking lot that got ripped off by a truck.
Wow. And they put all that in the obituary?
I don't know if it was like the obituary proper, but it was in the news about,
Wow. That's a lot of detail.
But it's just like, you have to be kidding me. Like, that just doesn't sound real. Like, it's so outrageous. I'm like, surely that's made up. Like,
Well, there is this podcast that I listen to. I don't know if you, I'm going to take it back for you. Maraca does mobituaries.
Oh, Mo Rocca. Wow. I
Yeah,
haven't
and
thought of
it's
him in
really a
years.
great podcast. And it's like he reads an obituary and like tells you like the story of their life and stuff. And so it's a really great podcast. But it's funny that you had. It's not funny. It's kind of morbid that you thought about doing obituaries on the podcast because I had thought about doing one that was like dearly departed and reading an obituary about like an outstanding person that just crossed over and maybe like an astounding person here in the living. So I thought about that too. What is wrong with us?
Yeah, I think I went to a darker place though. Mine was like focused on wacky ways people go.
Oh yeah, you went darker. But I was
Yeah.
thinking Paw, like, he started his morning reading the obituaries every morning.
Well, yeah. Had to
He's like,
plan
"Let me
his
see which
week.
one-" But he was so positive about it. He's like, let me see which one of my friends kicked the bucket today. It was like, now that I'm
He
looking
probably
back-
he probably had a Deadpool going on. Like,
maybe probably at the VFW. That was what he's probably like let me
they
see.
were all gamblers. Hmm.
Yes, he was way too excited about the obituaries every morning. And I'm like, man, Papa, like,
Yeah. Got some money coming.
Well, speaking of making bets, play some bets here. You got any bets for a good time coming up?
Wow, that was smooth. Actually, it looks like a lot is coming up the weekend of February 17th.
Okay.
So we have Con Nuga 2023. That's Chattanooga.
Huge play on words there, Chattanooga. I like what you did there.
That is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All the same weekend. Days of the Dead Las Vegas 2023.
Ooh, I bet they do it up there.
Yeah, in Vegas. It's at the Plaza Hotel and Casino.
The Plaza.
The Plaza. There's Fan Expo Portland 2023 in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, these last like the whole weekend too. It's not just one day. Like,
that would just be worth planning a vacation around right there.
And this one sounds really fun. Mad Monster Party, Carolina. This is in Concord.
Oh hell yes! That would definitely. When is that? I'm putting that on my calendar.
That is February 17th through the 19th. I think you should go check it out. It's called Mad Monster Party, Carolina.
I think I have a race that weekend.
But hey, this is at the Embassy Suites.
Oh yes. Oh, Concord's gonna represent.
So, anybody in the North Carolina area,
this is your chance to shine.
This is your chance. Go take pictures, tag us, please.
Steven, I'm just gonna wait. You don't listen to the podcast, but if you did, I would drop a hint. Like, this would be a great Valentine's present.
Just saying. Just saying. It is at the resort and spa.
I mean, a little facial, a little monster party. Are you kidding me?
I would go.
I think it sounds like
I'll text them after the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And last but not least, Fan Expo Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada. That is February 18th through the 20th. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on the weekend post Valentine's Day. A lot of self-love.
Yes, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like things are starting to kind of, like the holidays are just so crazy, and then January, I feel like everybody's just still like trying to get it together, and I feel like things are finally starting to come around again.
It was so weird. We were at Target picking up a few things, and I don't know, it's like we've been there this whole time waiting in long lines, but it was something about it, and I was like, I really, really feel like the pandemic is finally over.
Oh yeah, and now just in time for a balloon.
Yeah.
I just wish they would stop calling it a balloon, as it just makes it just so comical.
Can't they just call it like a UFO or something more sinister?
Like, can we not call it a balloon?
And even calling it a spy balloon, like
it still loses its seriousness. Like when you put balloon in it, I'm just like, I just can't. Well, Adele, speaking of interesting things in the sky, I got your forecast.
Did you plan these little segues? Like,
I didn't
go and write them down.
No, this is 100% ad lib by yours truly.
Mm.
This is
Okay.
Sarah on Mucinex. Friends, this is what you get. I mean, are you saying you like it? So I should just keep like taking cold medicine? Is that what you're trying to say? Are
I
you
don't
just
know.
saying
It's
just
worth
eat
a
it?
go. We'll see how the rest of the show is.
Oh my gosh. Well, luckily I'm not doing the story today. So I'm not, dodged a bullet there. I've only got a small speaking part. So all right, Adele. So speaking of things in the sky, are you ready for the horoscope?
I am.
Not too much is going on other than the espionage balloon, but here we go. We have Venus in Pisces. It's been in Pisces since January the 26th, and it's going to last through February the 19th. And during these last few weeks, it's a really good time to conjure all the things that you want to conjure because this is going to be the strongest Venus is ever going to get this entire year. So, a good time to just conjure goodness right now. Next, Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, reaches the last degree of Capricorn on February the 11th. And this is really cool because this marks the end of a karmic completion and it brings an end of an era, which began back when Pluto first entered the planet of Capricorn in 2008, which I think is really weird because if you remember what was going on in 2008, that was like recession. And it's like, did we just go all the way back to the beginning? It seems to me, even though they're saying we're not in a recession, wink, wink, but doesn't it seem much of the same?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I thought that was rather interesting. But today's astrology was not by me. It was read by me, but it was from our smart friends at astrology.com. So things are kind of calm in the skies right now. So that's a good thing. Just remember to conjure end of an era, which it seems like history definitely repeats itself because things seem a lot like they did in 2008 to me, especially, in my sector of the mortgage world. So
Yeah.
um, but I did want to do like speaking of eras and things. So it's Black History Month, yeah. So I have three Black History Month fun facts from oprahdaily.com I thought I would share with you guys.
Cool. Fun.
All right. So let's start with the first one. Let's start with Thurgood Marshall. So Thurgood Marshall became the first African American to serve on the Supreme Court. He was nominated by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1967. It took until 1967 for us to have a Black Supreme Court justice. Ouch. But he served until 1991. So it's pretty awesome. Second, and this is the thing, like these dates, they just bother me, like how long,
You know
some
what
of them.
though?
It's
Like
sad.
they're we were definitely 90s kids, but like I always forget how homophobic like even the early 2000s were.
It's true.
I'm just
Like
like, really?
it's so like when we're totally changing gears as we do here at Stormy Willow. I was watching Step by Step, and there was an episode where Cody and JT have to dress like girls to be in an all girls band, and just some of like the banter, like, "Oh, I thought we really had problems," and like stuff like that. It's just like it's very cringeworthy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
Especially the transphobia.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It just, I don't know.
Cringe.
It is cringe. Um, so speaking of cringe, this did not happen until 1981, is why I'm saying cringe. Broadcast journalist Bryant Gumbel became the first Black person to host a morning network show when he joined NBC's Today Show. It took until 1981, people. That's
Jeez.
crazy. And last but certainly not least, and I really want to watch this. Um, let's hear it from Madam CJ Walker, who created a line of hair care products just for African American women, making her the first ever female African American self made millionaire. and you can check out the show called Self-Made on Netflix to see all about CJ Walker's amazing journey. So just kind of 3 facts here. And again, just the things I can't get over are like those years, especially like 1967 to be appointed as a justice, 1981, like 81, like really for the first Black
81 before you could watch Black
person
People in the morning.
could host a morning
Come
show
on.
on NBC. Like, yeah. So I just want to I think Black History Month is so important because I think we really need to, we need to recognize this stuff, and we need to also just look at these dates and see like, wow, like we've come so far, but we haven't come so far. And so I really just wanted to highlight some facts and, on our podcast, just to, as 2 white girls living like from the South, one still living there, I think it's our job to speak up, say stuff, educate ourselves, educate others. And that's what I, hope to do by, just bringing some awareness out there.
Right on.
Yeah. And it's Valentine's month.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to bring you happy love stories. All about the dark side.
That's right. Yeah, if you came here looking for love tales, you found the wrong podcast, friends.
Wrong one. Not today.
Or any day, really.
Ever.
Adele, are you ready to tell me a spooky story?
I am.
Well, I'm glad. That's what the show is about.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the topic I landed on last week, so
yay!
Should be prepared.
Oh yeah. Well, Birdie's ready.
I hear. Well, this one kind of. I tried to find a story about a black ghost, and it was really difficult, actually. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe black people tend to cross over more.
Right.
Or is it just like not really a spotlight on black hauntings?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I picked an entire haunted plantation.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
But it's okay. It's not, it doesn't get too dark. There will be just trigger warning. There will be mentions of slaves. So if that's something you can't take, I highly recommend jumping off this episode now. And we'll catch you next time. But really, I'm not going to go into anything very graphic. It's just kind of more stories about the ghosts.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll touch on a little bit of history.
Yes.
All right. So first and foremost, let's thank our sources. So this is going to give it away. This is the story of Myrtles Plantation.
Oh, hell. Are we going to see the turtle?
No, this is in Louisiana.
Okay. Isn't sad? I always just associate that name with
Not
Myrtle.
that Myrtle. I was like, great. Once you mentioned Myrtle Beach at the top of the show, I was like, I had to pick Myrtles Plantation.
We're just, I think they call that a synchronicity, Lily.
I think so. I think Myrtle is on the mind. I don't know.
I will say one thing: if you haven't seen it, like when they shot down the balloon, you just hear like, woohoo! Oh my god! What does the world think about South Carolina?
We need to share an update on our Instagram about that in case you've missed it. Oh Lord. Anyway, not that Myrtle, but the Myrtles Plantation in Francisville, Louisiana.
Okay. All right. We're going way down south, y'all.
Yeah, so sources, I used their very own website even for some of this. So myrtlesplantation.com. I also used medium.com, legendsofamerica.com, Wikipedia, allthat'sinteresting.com, and nolaghost.com.
Ooh, all right.
All right, so straight off their website, a brief description of this beautiful plantation.
Yeah, all right, let's hear it.
So located in St. Francisville, Louisiana, built in 1796, our unique hotel and attraction has something to offer all our curious travelers and guests. Across the 80 acres, the property has many things to offer, including our 19 overnight accommodations, a chef-driven restaurant that focuses on primitive wood-fired cooking, guided tours of our 226-year-old historical home, our coffee shop Elta, offering breakfast for overnight guests and locals, and walking paths and grounds to roam freely.
Sounds lovely.
It does. And one thing this intro does not mention is this is also claimed to be one of the most haunted locations in America.
They left that off. Don't stay with us.
They slowly introduce it throughout the website, but definitely don't mention it on the homepage.
It's not like a big bold, like, yeah.
And actually, of course, I had to look up reviews, and one person was like, "We stayed overnight and did not know this place was haunted. 1 star." That's kind of harsh.
Yes. That's pretty funny, though. I love it. That's great. Oh my
pretty upset
gosh.
about it.
You didn't warn us. You ruined our relaxing stay.
We were so relaxed until we found out it was haunted.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty great.
Yeah,
we would be the opposite. That would be like extra stars. We were like, there's not enough stars, so we had no idea it was haunted. Yes.
I got touched by something in my sleep.
Oh my gosh.
5 stars.
I finally had an experience I've been waiting for. I was like, I came for the primitive cooking and I left touched by a ghost.
Yeah, true.
Best trip ever.
I would give it 6 stars if I could.
That's right. That's great. I guess it just depends on what, how people feel about the paranormal.
Whatever floats your boat, right?
Right. Obviously, those people weren't a fan.
They were not. That's not what they went for.
Oh,
so just to let you know, if you are trying to find a nice bed and breakfast in Louisiana, Myrtles Plantation is haunted if you so choose that. Just heads
right.
up. It might even be haunted with like up to 12 spirits.
Oh, okay.
But there's some. Yeah, it just doesn't. Maybe a baker's dozen. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, is it a baker's dozen?
Yeah. So first we'll start with a little bit of background because some of the people from history might be lingering spirits on the ground.
Yeah, so. I bet they are.
All right, so some background. So as mentioned, this was constructed in 1796. It was constructed by General David Bradford. So David was just all around a success. He was a successful lawyer. He was successful at business. He was even the deputy attorney general in Washington County, Pennsylvania, and kind of a bad boy at that time too. So he was involved as like one of the leaders of the Whiskey Rebellion in 1794.
So did we call him a backwoods Southern lawyer?
Sure. No, I think you can actually trust this guy.
Okay. He's not like an Alec Murdoch.
He's from Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right.
He immigrated to he's actually Irish, I think. But
okay. Well, see, it's important to clarify. So
yeah, he's not from the South.
Okay. He can be trusted.
He can be trusted.
says the 2 white girls that were born and raised in the South.
Don't trust us.
Don't trust us.
Dude, like seriously, never trust us. What are you thinking?
And there go our other 2 listeners.
Yeah, don't trust us.
We're gonna get an email from all on this. Girls, can't believe you said that.
You can trust the South. Anyway, very good businessman, very good attorney. Kind of a bad boy, was involved in the Whiskey Rebellion.
Okay.
So pretty much with the Whiskey Rebellion, it was like right after like the Revolution, everybody was still kind of broke, and they were like, well, to make more money up for the country, we'll slap a big fat tax on whiskey. It pissed off the citizens.
Gotcha.
Riots in the streets. People were pissed, and a few years later they repealed it. But he was one of the leaders of that. Like, you're not taxing the hell out of us for this, especially not on whiskey.
That's right. We need time.
So during that time, George Washington supposedly even placed a bounty on his head for being one of the leaders. So then he ended up having to flee Pennsylvania. So he had a family. I think he had like 5 kids and a wife. So he like had them safely somewhere in Pittsburgh while he fled down the Ohio River to the Mississippi River, where he landed.
He's trying to get in while everybody else is trying to get the hell out.
Right? He's like, where should I go? Oh, where nobody's looking. Everybody's going upriver. I'm going down.
I'm just seeing that traffic jam.
Everybody's like, you're going the wrong way. He's like, no, I'm not. Trust me.
No.
I'm going south. So once he goes down these rivers, he lands on Bayou Sarah.
Yeah, that's a name you can trust.
Yeah, there you go. There's a few Sarahs in this story, actually.
Yes.
So once he landed there, I think back when he was maybe in the military or something, he kind of knew about this area and saw it, was interested in buying property always. So now
he
that
was like Sarah, that's the most beautiful name I've ever heard.
I don't know why it's calling to me.
Yeah.
So he purchased 600 acres of land.
You know, as you do. Why not?
And
600 acres of this beautiful land.
And it was probably like a quarter.
They were probably, that's fine. Here you have it.
They're like, I don't know what else to do with this place. Here you go. Sure. So he was there alone for a few years while he was hiding out, and his family was in Pittsburgh. So during that time, he built an 8-bedroom home, and he named it Laurel Grove.
How sweet.
Yeah. So, and I love how dramatic this is in one of my sources. According to Legends of America, I've heard a few others. All right. So he's bought the 600 acres of land. And then I quote, what the general, along with several other future owners, did not know was that before the land had been seized by the Spanish, it belonged to a local Indian tribe known as the Tunica. These Native American peoples used the land as a sacred burial grounds.
There it is, folks. Remember what we said about not trusting the Southerners?
Yeah.
But we'll give you a real good deal because we think you're a real nice fella.
You don't really know where things come from.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he likely bought cursed land already. And then in 1799, John Adams, who was the new president, pardoned Bradford for his involvement in the Whiskey Rebellion because he had done something to help out against the Spanish at one point. So he was like, whatever, tit for tat, we're even.
We're good.
So you're good to go. He was pardoned, and then he moved his family down finally from Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. To the estate that he's built for them on cursed land. Got it.
The beautiful 8-bedroom home on cursed land. Yeah, that's great. His daughter, Sarah Matilda,
yes.
Yeah, married one of his law students, Clark Woodruff. They married November 18th, 1817. I think it would have been better if they had waited a year, so it was November 18th, 1818.
Yeah, that would have looked much better on a wedding invitation.
Or even that following August 1818. That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Just my thought. So they honeymooned at Andrew Jackson's home, the Hermitage. Now that's a great name.
No, I thought you were gonna say they honeymooned at Myrtle Beach.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We just can't get. I'm sorry. We're gonna dedicate this episode to Myrtle Beach. This is for
Myrtle Beach tourism. Can you sponsor us? How about eagles or wings?
We have really. I mean, and we could even get like the little the shirts. Like,
do you know how many hermit crabs we bought from you guys?
Yes,
as children.
Yes. I mean, I feel like our parents are still paying off our Myrtle Beach vacations, so can you sponsor us?
Yeah, for real.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, well, they could do like the little flyby, like they do like the Wings Eagles. It's like Stormy Willow.
Live at the pier at noon.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. This whole show just went to crap when I mentioned Myrtle Beach, so I apologize.
Why the hell did I have to pick Myrtles? I didn't even think about that.
It was just because it's just in your blood, man. You can't get no matter how far you move or try.
Even in Louisiana, there's a little bit of myrtle for you.
Damn it, myrtle! It's the Myrtle curse.
It is.
Like,
it is. Okay, anyway.
Sorry, let's get back on track, folks.
They honeymoon at Myrtle Beach. Not really. Okay. So then David Bradford died in 1808, so a few years before they got married. So then in 1817, after Sarah and Clark were married, they ended up taking over Laurel Grove.
Nice.
Even
Okay.
though Sarah's mother was still there. She just kind of like let them take over and stay
Yeah,
on the land they
I'm
helped.
just getting too old for
Yeah.
keeping up this 8-bedroom house and help.
Yep. So Sarah and Clark had 3 children. So they have different names except for one. Consistently, Mary Octavia is named so. But the 2 other kids, sometimes their names change depending on source. Like,
Okay.
so I just picked the one they're called the most frequently, or the
Okay.
majority of the time. So Africa Gale, in some cases she's called Cornelia Gale, but I'm going with Africa. And James, the one boy, but I've also heard in other stories that it was 3 girls and James was actually Jane. But I think it's James.
Gotcha.
Is what I hear most consistently. And across the board, Mary Octavia.
Mary Octavia is going to be the troublemaker, I feel.
Maybe. But
so much.
Isn't that just so Southern though? So we have
It's so Southern. Did you see how I didn't even blink when you said that? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So we have Sarah Matilda.
Of course.
His children, Africa Gale.
Yep.
James. Of course, he doesn't have a middle name. James and Mary Octavia.
Yep.
Yeah. Woodruff.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I might actually know some people naming similar things.
Yeah. So Clark expanded the plantation, making its holdings include 650 acres of indigo and cotton.
Oh, here we go.
And between July 1823 to September 1824, Sarah Matilda, James, and Africa Gale would all be dead.
Oh no.
So, you know, with
didn't see it taking that turn so soon.
Yes. So I think on their death certificate it is yellow fever.
Oh, is
but
it?
they do have the plantation, and some say they were poisoned. So now we're going to get into the story of Chloe.
Who the hell is Chloe?
Chloe was one of the slaves.
Okay.
On the plantation. So the story goes that Clark initiated a sexual relationship with Chloe.
Oh.
So, of course, she kind of couldn't say no.
Right.
But she was still super uncomfortable about it, and she became very paranoid about, like, okay, well, what if Sarah Matilda finds out? What if Clark gets just tired of me and then it's just like, I don't want you to work in the house anymore. I want you to work out in the fields, or like I don't know what he's going to want to do.
Oh.
So she becomes really paranoid. So she starts eavesdropping on his conversations, or like, you know, anytime the Woodruffs are having conversations, just trying to figure out what they're going to do
with her.
Right. Yeah. So she was caught one day eavesdropping, so they cut off one of her ears to punish her. Is the story.
What?
So she started wearing a turban to cover her ear. That was
Oh no.
Yeah. So then the question becomes, was she driven by revenge, or was she actually like kind of trying to save, you know, favor with the family? Either way, you don't really know her motivation, but supposedly she gathered oleander leaves and created an arsenic-like liquid by boiling the leaves. And then she mixed this into the batter of a birthday cake for one of the kids. So I don't know. It sounds like most sources think she's trying to save favor. So the idea is to make the family really sick, nurse them back to health, and win favor with them. She wasn't actually trying to kill them. And other stories, maybe she was just trying to get revenge.
I would cut off my ear.
So Chloe serves them the birthday cake. Sarah and 2 of the kids ended up dying from the poison.
Oh man, that's a birthday disaster.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, that's awful.
she's kind of like, oops, I accidentally killed them, or maybe purposely killed them. I don't know. Either way, they died.
Oh
Um,
no.
and then the other slaves supposedly were afraid of getting severe punishment because of what she's done. So they're like, we can't help you. Like, actually, we're just gonna go ahead and hang you from a tree and kill you on the property.
No.
So they hanged her from a tree and then threw her body into the river, is supposedly the story of this.
Oh God, Chloe.
So that was the story of Chloe. And then Clark ended up selling Laurel Grove to, I think his name, I think you say Ruffin, Ruffin. I've never heard that name. Ruffin.
Ruffin.
I'm gonna say Ruffin just because I think it sounds better. Ruffin Gray Sterling
Oh, goodness.
acquired this property in 1834 from Clark. So Ruffin and his wife Mary owned other plantations, but they decided to live on Laurel Grove at this time. They even remodeled and expanded the home, like to almost double the size.
Oh wow. So we're just turning this into like a sprawling
Yeah.
plantation at this point.
Oh yeah. So they like doubled the size. It was completed in 1850, and then with this new reveal, they changed the name to the Myrtles. Um, I think there were some big crepe myrtle trees,
Sure.
and he
And they're like, they're like, if you can't have a condo on the Grand Strand, just take
this will do.
this will do.
So then, in 1854, Ruffin died from tuberculosis, and their oldest child, Lewis, also died that year.
Man.
So only 4 of Mary's 9 kids lived long enough to get married. So their daughter, Sarah, married William Drew Winter in 1852. And after helping on the plantation for a few years, Mary ended up giving them the home in 1865.
Okay.
So then in 1871, Will was shot dead, supposedly on their porch.
Oh, just like a little
Like,
drive-by situation.
they don't really, like, there's some rumor as to who they think it was, but nobody really knows why or who did it. So yeah, he was murdered on the front porch. And then the property kind of changed hands several more times after that family. And finally, like, paranormal activity began being reported as far back as like the 1950s.
Okay, here we go.
So some sources say that like there's an old woman wearing a green turban who can be seen on the property, and some of those were mentioned in the 1950s. In the 1970s, the Myrtles was acquired by James and Kermeen Myers.
I love that name.
They turned the property into a B&B, and they have played up the ghost stories since then.
Oh, hell yeah.
So let's talk about some of the ghosts.
Yeah, let's get into it.
As I mentioned, there might be up to 12 ghosts on the property.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Some of the miscellaneous kind of activity you'll hear is like doorknobs rattling, lights turning on and off, even seeing apparitions around the property.
Wow.
Sometimes William Winter, we'll get into his story, even a Native American woman can be seen in a gazebo on the property.
Oh, wow.
You can hear children's disembodied cries.
Ugh, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, so there's like a whole gamut of weirdness on this property.
Just covers the different eras, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
maybe there's like a
time.
vortex or something. I don't know.
Right?
It's a lot of activity.
We need to go there.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get into that too. It seems like a really nice place. So William Winter is allegedly one of the ghosts. So some of the stories I think have, been kind of dramatized.
Sure.
But allegedly, when he was shot, he crawled up the stairs and died in the arms of his wife on the 17th step. So it's strongly speculated, though, that he actually died on the porch. But anyway, in this story, that's what.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And some visitors claim they've spotted streaks in photos on the stairs, like maybe it's his ghostly blood trail or something.
Ghostly blood trail. Oh my gosh, that's a little
Yeah.
dramatic.
Some have heard footsteps kind of stumbling up the stairs at night.
Oh, kind of sounding like,
But
yeah.
that could be a drunk guest. I
mean,
mean,
if Adele and I were there, it would 100% be us.
yeah.
Just gonna
Taking
debunk that real quick.
yeah.
Or just me just trying to walk.
Well, that's true.
It's
You just
sober. Yeah. Just me, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably just you being clumsy.
But you would hear me saying like shit or something.
Fuck.
Yeah. I was trying to keep it somewhat PG-13, but yeah.
Fuck.
And that person that gave it the 1 star, I'm gonna reply back and be like, I'm so sorry, it wasn't a ghost, it was me.
Just like
clumsy.
Fuck.
I apologize,
Steven. I wasn't even doing anything. Okay, anyway.
Oh gosh. I don't know what she's talking about, guys. Obviously.
So there's another phantom blood trail from the porch into the house.
Phantom blood trails. This is new to me. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. I'm like, maybe it's just rust or dirt. I don't know. If I were a messy housekeeper, that's what I'm gonna say. That's phantom dust.
I'm like, I apologize. I have scrubbed and have gotten professionals in here, and there's just nothing you can do with the phantom blood trail. It's just living in an old house, guys.
Yeah. Or I'll be like, what? I don't see anything. Only you can see that.
Oh my gosh.
This one I think is really creepy though. Some people even say that you can see William's apparition like crawling up the stairs asking for help. That would scare the shit out of me.
Oh no. Like, what do you do?
Like,
sorry, bud.
Like, boo, you dead. Like, do you just say that to him?
What do you do? Like, what's proper etiquette, in those situations?
I don't know.
Here. Awkward.
Then there's also Sarah and the children. If you remember, they were maybe poisoned or died from yellow fever.
Right.
The story goes that apparently when they died, one single mirror in the house was left uncovered, so they became trapped.
Oh no.
So today they're
others.
Yeah. It really is kind of like the others. So today there have been sightings of a face, children's fingerprints, and claw marks in a mirror in the home.
Oh no.
Which I think this part is interesting. So I'm like, okay, mirrors, sometimes there's just like weird stuff with them, or dirt or smudges or matrixing, or like the weird like back layers. I don't know, where you think you see a face. Anyway,
sure. Mirrors are kind of creepy.
Yeah, they definitely are. But these images are still seen even when the mirror is replaced by a different mirror, in the same location. So currently the home is on its 3rd mirror and people still see these things.
Interesting. Wow.
And then we have Chloe. And I'm going to share a picture with you in a moment. So there have been claims to see a ghost wearing a turban all around the property. One interesting tidbit, though, is in 1992, property owners actually took a photo. They needed a photo of just like some buildings with no person in it, and they were trying to like send in the picture for some fire insurance. Once they sent the picture, though, they were like, we told you to send a picture without a person in it. And they were like, we did. So this is supposedly a picture of Cleo.
I thought it was Chloe.
I mean, sorry, I keep saying it, to me it looks like Cleo. Chloe, yes, thank you. So if you look at this little highlighted region here, it kind of looks like a woman kind of peeking from behind that pillar.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a statue.
Yeah, so supposedly when they took a picture, there was nobody standing there. Insurance company looked at it, they were like, there's a woman in the picture, this isn't acceptable.
That is definitely yeah, that's not even like could that be something like that's pretty prominent. That's crazy.
So, and this kind of will tie into the discussion. So what I think is interesting about this picture is they sent the negatives to the National Geographic Explorer for review.
I saw that in the description.
Yeah, and they determined that the photograph definitely contained what appeared to be an apparition of what they believed to be a slave girl, according to medium.com.
You know what's so weird is how, as investigators and people that love this, we try so hard to find evidence like this. And this person's just trying to get some coverage on their house and just takes the picture, and there it is. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then also in 1995, Mr. Norman Benoit, a patent researchist, visited Myrtles Plantation in May of 1995 and requested permission to research the postcard. So after the National Geographic Explorer, they were like, let's make this into like postcards so other people can examine them.
Stamps.
So after enlarging the postcard and doing a shadow density procedure, Mr. Benoit discovered that all of the physical measurements of the apparition were of human dimensions and proportions.
Whoa.
The circumference of the head, the length of the shoulders to the elbow, and the length of the elbow to the wrist were all indicative of a human.
So it proves it wasn't something that was just like, let's animate this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
or like dirt
sort of deal.
or something like a shadow of a bush.
That is so fascinating.
And what's interesting, though, and this is kind of some backstory for discussion. So apparently there are detailed records from the time of this property with a list of all of the slaves, and there is no Chloe or anything even similar to that name. So a lot of people speculate that maybe she wasn't real or became kind of lore. And her name is spelled Chloe, and for some reason I keep wanting to say Cleo, but it's Chloe.
But could that have been like a nickname or something, or like
Totally
birth
right.
records even? And I feel like, I mean, slaves were treated like just such property anyway. It's possible they didn't even have a birth certificate, I would think.
Or
Or
if she had
something,
like
you know?
a special relationship with Clark, was it even like a pet name or like a house name or something?
Right, exactly. I think that could be argued.
What's also interesting though is, according to the Evening Standard, I quote, there is a documentation of the home being haunted in yet another iteration of the woman in the green turban in the June 8th, 1977 edition of the Evening Standard. So the article stated that AAA, I don't know who that is, I don't know if that's like a publication or something,
Yeah.
learned that in 1825, a French governess was hired by the owner to care for his only daughter. So this sounds about the time that Clark's other kids died. He had the one daughter, right? Mary Octavia was her
Right.
name. So that sounds about right. And if it's in 1825, remember they died in like 1824.
Right.
So it sounds like the right time. The governess had been badly mistreated in her previous job. Both of her ears had been cut off. Also, her only child was taken from her, and she never knew what became of it. Now she is centered on the upstairs of Myrtle Plantation. She has been seen peering into the faces of sleeping guests, presumably still looking for her lost child.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, so while this could not be verified, the year quoted would have been a year after Clark Woodruff's wife, Sarah, and his two children died of yellow fever, leaving Clark living with his daughter, Octavia, and his mother-in-law, according to medium.com. So maybe that's the person, and just we don't know what her name was.
Right, that's true too.
But I mean, what are the odds with ears? Like, how often people get their ears cut off back then?
I mean, I'm starting to wonder if that was more common than we may have thought.
Right, because like either did a lot of people have missing ears, or is this the same woman?
Right, that's
like, I don't know.
Regardless, that's horrific.
Yeah. So, like I said, this could probably get a lot darker, but we're just going to focus on Chloe. Obviously, there were other slaves on the plantation, and I'm sure hauntings related to those people. We just don't have names. So I would say they probably fall under the miscellaneous activity all over this plantation.
Right.
But like everyone under the sun has been to this place. I think ghost hunters, ghost adventurers,
Everybody.
tons of people have investigated it. But it also sounds just like a very lovely bed and breakfast.
Yeah, it
If you want to
does.
stay there. Um, I think Chloe is the most compelling piece of this puzzle for me, or who we think is Chloe.
Right.
Especially with those photos
That
being reviewed.
photo, I mean, we'll have to put it up on our socials so you all can see it. There's no question that
Yeah.
that's something standing there. Like, it's like, could it be? Sometimes you have to kind of strain your eyes, and this is
Yeah, it
wow. Like,
clearly looks like a
you showed me that.
woman.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it definitely does. There's no straining needed to see that.
Yeah. Um, you can also currently like stay uh at Myrtles Plantation. So if you would like to plan a trip, it is a 4.5 rating on TripAdvisor, which is pretty good.
Oh, nice.
They have day, evening, and private tours of the property. The day tour is more historical, the evening tour is definitely more ghostly.
Oh, heck yeah.
Um, they also have a general store on the property, a 100-foot deep well. So I guess you can throw pennies, make wishes.
Make
I don't
some
know.
wishes. I don't know if I would go near there. I'd be
That's kind of
scared.
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have gardens, a pond, a smokehouse, a greenhouse, and they also have restaurant 1796, which sounds delicious. Hopefully they have
Right.
vegetarian options.
I mean, if they've got a greenhouse, I'm sure they have access to
Yeah.
just amazing stuff.
Fire me up a salad.
Yeah, fire me up, chop me up a salad.
They also have lawn games that you can play. So it sounds like a lot of
Long games. That sounds so.
giant Jenga. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Cornhole.
I'm thinking like cricket,
Okay.
pickleball.
I was thinking like cornhole.
That's a different Myrtle. Stay
It's
with
south. Hey guys,
Adele.
if you don't know what cornhole is, it's bags or bean bags.
Yeah, it's cornhole down south. I didn't know that was a southern thing either
Yeah.
until I think we said cornhole, and people were like, "I'm sorry, what?"
You want me to do what?
It's like it's cornhole. They were like, bags. just another,
Yeah.
fun thing there.
They do have some suites named after some of the people that we heard about. So there's Judge Clark Woodruff Suite, Will Winter Room, General David Bradford Suite, and Rufus Sterling Room. So you can
Very
stay
cool.
at those rooms.
That sounds like a really great destination.
I would totally stay there.
Me too.
But yeah, I thought it would be fun to just hear a few reviews
Yes.
about staying there.
Good.
So I tried to get a good mix. I really tried to find one where somebody's like, "Oh, I got touched by a ghost" or something. But one, I probably didn't look hard enough, and two, I didn't find one. So I don't know. If you have any fun,
Add it, yeah.
there, let us know.
If you've been here, tell us all about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So this one is from TripAdvisor, and it's entitled "Fantastic Trip to the Myrtles." First, we ate dinner at the 1796 restaurant on the grounds at the Myrtles. We ate the best fried green tomatoes.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know those are good in Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
Shrimp pesto linguine and redfish.
Oh, hell yeah.
Then we had the most amazing mystery tour with Tom as our guide. He told us the history and some ghost stories that he had encountered. Best tour guide. We stayed at the Cocoa Cottage, so that's one of the locations you can stay.
Nice.
And had a wonderful night. Woke up to the beautiful birds singing, looking out on to a pond with full-grown trees. Sorry, there's like no comments here.
Just a lot happening. They're overwhelmed by the goodness of this place, the beauty.
Yeah, woke up to the beautiful birds singing, looking out onto a pond with full-grown trees canopying over the pond and path. That was the whole sentence.
Nice.
We had an amazing breakfast at the general store and bought some souvenirs. The grits and biscuits are the best.
Oh, yes.
Looking forward to our next trip.
Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'll be the judge of that. If you're going to throw out biscuits, we have Bojangles standards. So
yeah.
We'll be the judge of the best biscuit situation.
We
We're gonna
will.
take that with a grain of we're gonna take that with a grain of grit.
Oh.
Oh,
All
sorry.
right. The next one, I don't remember the source. Sorry. Anyway, it's 2 out of 10. Terrible, it
Oh
says.
no. What
Um,
happened?
they traveled with a partner, and here we go. Good grief. We enjoyed Good grief. We enjoyed the tour. The grounds are pretty to walk through, but staying the night was just awful. The bed was so uncomfortable. Neither my husband nor I slept. No Wi Fi or any other regular amenity. And the breakfast, gross. Looked, tasted like bagged eggs, cold and hard scones and biscuits, McDonald's adjacent sausage. Overall, not even remotely worth the money.
Okay. Wow.
All right. So I do want to call out that it does sound like you can't have food and drink in a lot of these rooms because they are historic.
For
Just throwing
sure.
that out there. A lot of people don't know that before they book and seem to get upset about it. Like you can only have water in the room. Otherwise you can drink or eat outside of the rooms, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Fair
And it
enough.
sounds like a place where you very much do go to unplug. So I don't think they have Wi-Fi in most of the rooms. A lot of
You're
them
gonna
like
be okay.
TV or any of that. So just be warned. Okay.
Yeah, if that's what you're looking for, then you need to go to the Holiday Inn or something, okay?
Yeah. So just a heads up. I get it. If you didn't know, you might be upset to find that out, but it
Oh,
does
wait.
very much sound like a place to unplug.
Yeah, I don't really feel bad for you. Sorry if you listen to the show and you write that review. You're getting zero
So,
sympathy here.
all right. Well, there you go.
Well,
Um,
it sounds lovely.
and this is the last one. And this is just fantastic. So this person on Yelp, 5 stars.
All
Wow,
right.
wow, wow, is how it starts out.
Yes.
This was such an amazing experience. My girlfriend and I decided to take a day trip up here for an adventure. And I don't know if she means friend girl or girlfriend, but either way, I was like, I'm going to
Yeah.
pretend like you're on a cute little date.
Sweet little date.
First off, the grounds are beautiful. You pull up into a parking lot surrounded by gorgeous trees and housing. We stayed a night in the suite. Gorgeous.
Oh,
It was
gosh.
beautiful, very well kept. We brought an ice chest of beer you need to keep outside to keep from ruining the flooring. I totally get that. We made
Me too.
reservations at the restaurant located on the plantation. It was a delicious and enjoyable dining experience. They also offer hourly ghost tours along with nightly ones you can pay for. The complimentary breakfast was fresh and delicious. The staff, from start to finish, is top notch.
Good
Everyone was
job.
so kind, helpful, and personable. We loved it so much. We are coming back in November for 2 nights. You
Oh, hell
definitely
yeah.
need, yeah, you definitely need more than one night to truly grasp and get the full experience. I highly recommend. So they loved it.
Listen, I feel like these would be the type of people we would travel with because we would also bring a cooler of our own beer. Like they just had me at that. I was like, yeah, for
I bet they
sure.
like pulled up. They're like, "Well, you can't have any stuff like that in the room." Oh, that's cool. We got a cooler. We
That's
already
what
had
I'm
it.
talking
We
about.
already had it. It's
And
fine.
they already respected. They're like, we get your rules. We respect that. Yeah, we're just gonna put our like you're just like walking by like these. I'm just seeing like this plantation. You're walking by and like they have a cooler outside of their door. It's like, yes, that would be the room that Adele and I would be staying.
Yeah.
And
So
I love it. It sounds
they
wonderful.
they had a blast.
They came to have a good time, and it sounds
They
like
did.
they were not
They
disappointed.
were like, "No internet. I don't
I was
have that in my
like,
house. I don't
you've
care."
got you've got hourly ghost tours. What? Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I
So
love
that
it. It sounds like they really embraced it and had a great time.
yeah. See, those people just know how to have fun.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
but yeah, you can obviously stay there. And I'm game. I would love to stay there.
Let's go. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Book it.
So there we go.
What a great
We'll
story.
post that story. I mean, the image of Chloe. You tell us what you think.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I would love to go. I just think that it sounds so beautiful.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody
I
would
love
like for us
it.
to go and investigate. Let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
We
We'd
will
be
do
more
it.
than happy to.
But
Adele, that was a great story. I really liked it. We haven't done a ghost story in a while. We've been doing pretty intense theories, so it was nice
yeah,
to get back to the basics, get back to the
right.
ghost.
I've been thinking of changing it up and maybe every third episode, starting from this one, it's presenter's choice.
Well, there you go. You know, Adele, I love how you just change things up and, she announces it to me on air. I love it.
Yeah, it's our show. We can do what we want.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
so I say we spin the wheel today because if we do it every third time, it'll switch back and forth between you and me, right? So it's like,
I think that's how that
spin this,
math should work.
right? We spin this one for yours, we spin this
Mm-hmm.
one for mine, then you pick. We spin the
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
We'll just see what happens, guys.
We'll see what happens. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, let me get out a pen so I can remember what I'm about to land
All
on.
right, here we go. Let's spin that wheel.
Spin
Go.
that wheel. Oh, what will it be? Oh, an entity, demon, god, or goddess.
Are you good with that one?
I'm cool with it. Are you cool with it?
Hey, it's your topic.
Hey,
All right, cool.
it.
That's always a fun one.
It is. There's a lot you could do with it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, cool. Well, if you guys enjoyed what you heard, definitely give us a like, a follow. If you really liked it, a review would be great to help other people find our show. Definitely go check out some of those fun events coming up in the next 2 weeks.
So many good things coming. I'm really excited. I need to check out the Concord thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, woohoo, super excited. Adele, thank you for the amazing story. And guys, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And as we always say here, stay safe.
Stay curious.
And never trust
The living.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.